This is a story all about how we, as a small business, we failed miserably, crashed and burned. Is that it?
That's pretty harsh,
That's
dude.
pretty good. Yeah, it's a little
freaking
harsh,
harsh.
but,
But a little accurate.
You definitely
in
aren't
a
wrong
sense,
necessarily.
We failed. We started a moving company. I say me and Steven and Kyle started a moving company in 2015 called Let's Get Moving, operating out of Kansas City, Missouri, because we were just movers. That's all we know in our blood and in our bones. And it failed miserably.
Steven was literally born and raised to be a mover.
We're closing up shop.
We're out of here.
He's not lying. We are shutting down, closing doors. We are finishing these this last month of moves and honoring the customers that we booked, but we are no longer accepting any more moves.
When the director yells cut, that's it, baby.
Yeah, fuck.
That's a curtain call.
Oh.
What does curtain call mean?
I think the curtains close.
Yeah, it's a curtain call.
It's a call for the closing. Don't
Yeah.
say, "Oh my!" You almost built it on me, so I was getting you back. All right. What's up? Hey.
Okay, Chase, do your
So
job.
What do we do now?
I'll cut this
Back in
out.
2015. So, Steven, we'll just do a incredibly quick synopsis. Steven's been a mover since he was 4 months old, drug me and Kyle into it. We were movers our whole adult lives throughout high school, throughout college. For Kyle, I never went to college except for community college dropout. Blakeston, we met Blakeston when the moving company had been in business for about 5 years. Blakeston started working with us too. When we were
Forced him to work with us.
Begged and pleaded.
we begged and pleaded for him to work with us, which then he finally did. So from about 2015 until 2021-ish, we were running the moving company full steam ahead. We were all on the same page and figuring out how to operate a successful small business in the service industry nonetheless. And it was working. It was paying the bills, and we grew it to be pretty damn big, honestly, and something that I would definitely consider a success. We went from nothing and just us going on moves to having, at one point, we had 7 crews out completing moves in one day. We had 7 crews completing 9 jobs. So 2 of the crews had 2 jobs. And that was our busiest day that I ever remember. We had about 40 guys at our warehouse getting trucks ready to go. But that required a tremendous amount of hands-on attention and effort from me, Steven, Kyle, and Desi. And that was not really sustainable. So we started letting long story short, started letting other people run it. And they ran it
straight
into the ground.
into the fucking ground, underneath the ground.
6 feet under.
I intentionally.
Yeah, they ran our moving company
on.
6 feet under the ground.
How long was we out of the business before it crumbled? How long was that?
Maybe
A year?
Maybe
About
a
a year.
year. Maybe a year.
Yeah, so we spent 7 years,
Which
6.5
is
years.
about whenever I quit.
We spent about
Oddly
6.5
enough.
years
Interesting.
building a business for it to be run into the ground less than a year later. And when I say run into the ground, you guys, they were operating at such a deficit that we kept paying money from outside sources into this moving company. It was a failed investment, wrong investment. We should not have been doing that, but then it would have just failed a year ago. So,
Which obviously many variables led to that.
Yeah, we're glossing over a lot of little things, but the main thing is that we stepped away from the company and tried to unsuccessfully get it to run and operate on its own with, hiring people and managers and things like that. And, we don't know what the hell we're doing, hardly. And the managers knew even less. And we're making money doing other things. We have different dreams and ambitions that we're going after, which frankly are easier on the back than moving.
to be clear,
Harder on the
Lower
lower
back.
back.
Yeah, hard on the lower back.
Sorry.
Okay. You were.
Well, don't
We
give up.
interrupted
Let's have
you?
some
I'm not.
energy.
I'm letting you guys do your thug dizzle.
We did
I
it.
apologize.
Me
Don't
too.
apologize. This is a podcast, buddy.
I take back Steven's apology. I started working for these guys for the moving company like 4 years ago, I think, ish. And then they relinquished all power and responsibility upon me and a couple guys. And we started running that joint. And that was an interesting experience and new and hard and kind of fun. And then I ended up quitting.
But
I ended up.
not as fun without us, or what's the
Yeah, dude. It was. I was moving furniture. I was not doing this because I enjoyed moving furniture. I did it to hang out with the homies, and it was a lot of fun for a while. And then once these guys stepped out of doing day to day, it wasn't the same. Going on moves with these guys or running things with them was 90% of the enjoyment. Dealing with people that can't graduate high school or, you know, people that ex-cons as my employees was not the fun part. So we were doing that, and then I ended up quitting purely because I didn't enjoy it and wanted to make money elsewhere and do other things. So I got GTFO'd out of there and hung out with these guys instead.
Straight to the office over, if I'm
Straight to
remembering correctly.
Yeah, to make content with these guys. So I showed up to the same place every day. Just ignored the difficulties of running the company. I got out of that.
We spent 6.5 years setting up structures and policies and building a small business and acquiring customers and building a reputation online, doing the whole hard work, groundwork for having a successful business. And we knew that the people that we were giving it to were not as hadn't learned the same things that we had learned running the business. But and at least in my thought, I thought, we've done all the hard part. The hard part is literally done. We're handing you a business to be successful. Just make it happen for yourselves. And that was the opposite. They did the opposite than of make it happen for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's easy in theory. Obviously, like you said, we didn't learn all the things that was learned, and it wasn't ours necessarily. So, but with that said,
was it, minutes
or seconds? So it was not. It was just kind of hard. The mic keeps moving. I don't know what to do about it. I tried to fix it.
Was it an effort thing? It wasn't yours, so you didn't want to put the effort? Speaking overall, not just for you.
I was going to say, there's definitely, I was telling Kyle this morning, there was a period towards the very, very end, right before I quit, where it felt like I was stealing from the company because it was literally like a week and a half of almost 2 weeks of me not putting in hardly anything. We started getting on a salary at some point throughout the year where I was running, or 6 months to a year where I was running stuff. And most weeks were 40, 50, 60 hours. And then there'd be a week thrown in there where it was like 25 or 30 hours. So, it was a nice little balance. And then the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks, it was like I was working like 15 hours and then cutting out of there and half-assing a lot of things. And I was like, this is not this is wrong. This is not what I want to be doing. And obviously my heart's not in it and I'm not doing the things I should be. So I said,
in your defense, I wouldn't have worked for the moving company if it wasn't with Kyle and Steven and Desi. So that makes perfect sense. I don't blame you one bit.
Yeah. So I was like, I can either keep helping, the homies, Austin and James, for a couple weeks, or I can cut out right now and not take any more money. And that's what I did.
So we bounced, and then during that whole time, we had started, which the LGM Boys, if you didn't know, is a completely separate business. We've kind of, it was originally part of the moving company. We were making a lot of moving content and using it to kind of like market ourselves as movers, and that did work. We got a lot of business from that, but we wanted to not do moves anymore. So we kind of branched out, and we did LGM Boys just to kind of pay homage to Let's Get Moving, and created a new business where we just make content. We've been modeling and traveling and doing other stuff and doing our own side gigs, which has been great and easy and more money. And
straight up, for anybody wondering out there, we worked our tails off, worked our dicks into the ground on moves, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of moves. Literally sweating, freezing, breaking our backs to barely make by. And all we're trying to do is, and while we were doing that, we were still making videos. Before TikTok existed, it was just videos for Facebook. So we've been making videos from the very beginning. All we're trying to do is transition from breaking our bodies. What we thought we could do is have the business. We thought the moving company was set up to be able to run itself, so we could keep making videos and sort of diversify what Kyle was saying, our income, so we weren't having to physically destroy ourselves to make a living. And the moving company failed, so now we're really, our only income is from doing other stuff. So making videos, trying to, reap the benefits of spending all that time making content over the past 8 years.
And people might be wondering why, specifically why it failed. Obviously, part of it is leaving it in hands of people that didn't run things perfect. And then another part is a moving company is incredibly hard to run. It's hard to find people for the wages that you can pay that care enough about the hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of people's belongings every day that you're moving, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of trucks that you're driving and that are easily damageable. Like there's all sorts of variables that are so risky. To find people to care as much as these guys obviously do, because they ran it very well and relatively easily because they just put in the work and did the right things.
It's because we could lean on each other is the main part.
Yeah, and you guys are obviously strong, capable, and knowledgeable, whereas, you know, the more you put things on other people and hire other people that are just there for a paycheck or, you know, don't care as much is literally what it is. It's people not being as aware, not taking accountability for their actions and things like that. And
one
next
thing
thing
I've
you know,
noticed is that like with a moving company, with our moving company, you have companies that are nationwide, worldwide even, but nationwide, who operate with economies of scale, so they can have lower prices and still make money. And we have to operate literally as a single location and be competitive with those prices when we don't have the scale on our side. Yep. So the prices and the market is dictated by the large companies who can afford to operate at a lower overall cost to the customer. And for most people, some people will go out of their way to support small business. Some people will go and choose the more expensive small business, even though there's another national company who has decent reviews online and whatever. But 99% of people are not going to do that. They're going to get a bunch of estimates or quotes. They're going to go with the cheapest one, assuming that the reputations are relatively close. And we maintained literally a 5-star perfect Google rating almost through 1,000 reviews. And that would get us some, but most of the time people are just going to choose the cheapest option. If it's a 5-star company and the cost, it's going to cost you $1,000, or it's a 4.8-star company, it's going to cost you $600. You're going to go with the 4.8-star company.
4-star, like that.
Yeah, or even a 4-star. So it's like there's companies out there that are national companies that are good companies that can afford to operate at a lower price than it would take us running one location to be equally successful. Our prices would have to been, you know, big. And that was the biggest thing, because we can't pay guys more. You can't pay guys more. You can't get good guys. So it takes a lot of individual effort, putting individual effort. And as soon as that individual effort left, that's what the company went under.
Yeah. And the biggest thing I noticed was when you guys stepped out of the field, or when you guys were still like running things in the office, you had me, Austin, James, Peyton, like we had guys that cared, especially me, like people that could handle stuff in the field, like you guys would or whatnot. And then once you guys stepped out and we stepped up to find people that, because obviously you had ties to like me, Peyton, people that care about you guys specifically.
Our shoes got filled. Your shoes never got filled.
Yeah, it was hard to, like we cared about you and the company. Then we were trying to fill those roles, and we found one guy that I can come off the top of my head and think of. The rest, it was just people to fill the role and try to get them to do a good job, but they didn't care other than just there to make money. So that was definitely the most difficult thing and the hardest part to try and fill. Not that that's like an excuse or anything like that, because obviously I did everything I could to try and make shit happen, but it was just I noticed how much more difficult that was, because when I was in the field, I literally never called you guys, like very, very rarely. You know, one time Kyle came out to my move because I was like passing out and like shit like that, but I handled things. I was lightheaded. I don't know if I was like super dehydrated or what, but I was getting lightheaded, and I picked up this box from the top that should not have been on the top. And it was super heavy, and got it down, and then kind of blacked out and hit my head on the side of the truck and fell over.
Damn.
And then I called you guys, and Kyle brought me some Gatorades.
That's moving for you.
But yeah, so to fill those roles of people that wouldn't just, if one little small thing came up in the field, be calling us left and right for stupid shit for us to hold their hand. Whereas, you know, when I was in the field, I was trying to handle stuff the way that these guys would want done. So.
And you did a damn good job too.
I did not do a good job. I was crew lead, self-proclaimed lead crew lead for a long time.
Assistant to the regional manager type vibe.
Yeah, for the longest time. That's back when John liked me, because I handled things more than all the other crew leads. Yeah, the good old days.
Don't get me started on John.
Don't get any of us started on it.
So we could easily go back and just do operations and make the company successful again, of course, with a lot of hard work. But why not? What's your guys' why?
Hard. You said it. Hard work.
Not even hard. Very difficult.
Yeah, and it's not even hard work. It's like like Blakeston was saying about the moving as a whole is just I think a very hard business to get into. If you like really think about it, there's only a handful of nationwide dedicated moving companies. A lot of the bigger moving companies are like van lines and all this kind of stuff. They're not moving companies, they're logistics companies. They're hiring local moving companies to load your stuff into the trucks, and then they're driving it to the location, hiring new movers to unload. There's only a handful of nationwide companies that actually do the moves and drive across the nation. And most of all moves, I would say, are done by local companies in different cities and stuff.
Yeah, so for people who don't know, when you hire like a Atlas Van Lines or even a Mayflower, anything like that, you're just hiring a logistics company and a truck driver. They, like Kyle said, they'll find movers on each end who, like, for example, the downfall is that you have 2 or 3 guys, 4 guys loading up your stuff who are gone. You're never going to see them again. So when you get to the other end, if there are any damages, for example, it's just the accountability is not there. It's hard. The companies are so big, trying to get any issues resolved is a nightmare because it's through the truck driver. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. And then like another thing like Blakeston was saying is like you're just we're moving thousands and thousands of things per day. As good as we are and as much as we cared, and then you have people who don't even care as much as us, like things will get broken on occasion. And we always try to do our best to make sure that, we did what was right for the customer and paid out of pocket if we damaged something. Things like that. But you start getting into when people don't care, they're not doing the house protect like they should be. They're not moving with a sense of purpose and trying not to damage things. They're just trying to go fast to go so they can go home.
And not only that, almost every piece you're moving, people have sentimental attachment to. Makes it twice as hard. It's like, dude, that's not even like it's just everything was stacked against this being a successful company. Yeah, which obviously there will always be a market because there's always people that need to be moved and are going to pay for movers, but it's just an incredibly difficult to run.
I think we were a small company trying to go big, and we didn't give it enough time because we definitely didn't know what we were doing as far as scaling a business. We tried opening another branch, these kinds of things. I was 20 years old when we started it, and it worked for 8 years. But we didn't learn the lessons of scaling. Had we have kept it kind of like a smaller scale, it was us running the operations, and like it would have been perfectly fine. And like you're saying, we could go back and do that, but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of headache mostly, where there are things now that we're doing that are less headaches and making more money and
much more
easier.
freedom.
We get to spend. The whole reason we did the moving company was so we could work with each other and have fun and goof off and be kids and have the free time of taking off when we wanted to take off and work for ourselves. Which it did exactly that. And in that sense, it was a very successful business all the way up into the end. Now we're doing that even more and even better and even stronger and even faster.
Even harder and throbbier.
And girthier.
Yeah, fuck, baby.
So it's like, why go back when we're doing what we wanted to be doing all along?
There's a little stepping stone.
Yeah. And just to touch on that, some of the best memories I have are grinding with you guys. Or on you guys. Well, hold on. Grinding on you guys. But like even like the long distance moves, some of the best conversations or times I've had with Chase, I think back to when we're literally broke, living together, or broke on a move, driving 20 hours somewhere and just talking about things, and just some good memories through those struggles. I disagree too, Chase. Right?
No, I completely agree. I think some of my best memories come from like stories I tell. They're all from moves for the most part. Just going on moves, things happening, dicking around. Dallas, that whole Dallas trip was a fucking movie in my mind.
Yeah.
The entirety of when we were down in Dallas for a summer 2 years ago, it's just a
we did that.
movie, dude.
And don't get us started on Denver, dude. Don't get us started on
Denver?
Steven's joke alone in Denver. Are you kidding me?
Steven's the funniest person
Denver
here.
was a year ago.
Was it?
Was it a year?
And I was the
I've never been
funniest.
the same since.
I was the funniest person in the group for at least
About an
like
hour?
10. Yeah, close to an hour. And Steven took that from me and spit in my face.
Aggressively took that title.
That's
You've ever had a
scumbag.
joke where you just put somebody in 2 dimensions at the same time?
You ended my life and resurrected me is simultaneously, my friend.
only for Chase and Kyle to then be 20 minutes later, resurrected.
Dude, there were so many hits in that, man. So put it into context. So we went the whole trip. We're just laughing. I've made it one of my life missions.
Steven started off by bullying me in my kitchen for about an hour. That I was.
That's a different move. That's a different one.
That was the prequel.
That was I think with Peyton or something. I don't know.
I don't know. I've bullied
Either way.
him too
No,
many
no,
at
no.
this
That
point.
was in his kitchen, and then we left, and then out of the neighborhood, I hit Steven with the and you're not even fat.
Yep, it was still in our neighborhood. Yep,
it was the same thing.
Yeah, Steven, you're not even fat, so you're good. Out of nowhere.
The trauma blocked that one out. I don't remember.
Anyway, so I've made it one of my life missions to make Chase pee his pants because he pees his pants when he laughs too hard.
When you had a couple kids, that's just how it goes. I've heard about people after they have kids, they lose control of their bladder for not completely, but it gets harder to hold
due to female births.
Ladies.
Oh, it's just women?
Female.
It might just be women.
I'm an empath. I don't know what to tell you. I sense it, and I'm like, I don't want you guys to be alone, so I'll piss myself once in a while.
He supports women's rights.
And on this move specifically, I think it was 5 times. Maybe it was 4.
You're thinking of the rugby trip to Minneapolis.
Whatever, dude. It's all the same.
Anyways,
I pee myself way more than I should.
We had
fucking
so
pants.
much fun. Chase was peeing his pants left and right.
I'm so weird.
Well, this was also a rugby. This was also a rugby trip, was it not?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay.
On the way home, we were depressed, serotonin out, mad at each other, fighting.
It was
throwing little jabs at each other left and right. Shut up!
It
don't
wasn't
talk to me.
one word
Not
of
one
positivity
laugh.
spoken for like 8
Nobody
hours.
was
We
no,
in the car
that's
like
not.
this.
to each other.
I think I tried making a
I
joke
tried
and you
to
guys
laugh.
were pissed.
Yeah.
You
tried
guys
to
were like,
make a
"Don't
joke.
fucking try that
You
shit."
shut your fucking
And I was like,
mouth
"Yeah,
up.
I respect that. I don't even like that I tried."
So, anyways, that was one of the better weeks of my life, and
We haven't even told you the joke that Steven said.
I don't think we
don't know if
should.
it's
I really
worth
don't
it.
think we should.
There's no way to be able to convey the simple elaborateness and the depth of this. This man, Steven, is legitimately, you guys might, for a lot of you don't know this, my dad died in like 2017 or something. I don't even know. Steven is my father figure. He is my father figure for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Let's just let these people wonder what this joke is.
What could it have been?
It was the best time of our lives. Just you put the rest together.
Imagine a belly laugh where you come to, you're wiping your tears. Imagine everybody's had one of those and it lasts, 10, 20 seconds. Imagine a belly laugh where you're wiping your tears for literally hours.
Yeah. And on top of that,
hours.
we were following a customer to their house and they called
like,
us.
where
are you guys? We're here. Where are you?
We're like an hour late.
We left something at the restaurant.
We're like, we got another 30 minutes
Literally crying
to mold this joke
trying to
over.
explain that we're just caught up at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Sometimes, you try to tell a story and you're like, yeah, that was good. Every time it brings tears to my eyes. Every time we get into it, it brings tears to my eyes.
It's
We've had a
frustrating.
dozen
It was
laughing fits
frustratingly good. Only to top what I thought was one of my best jokes I've ever had.
Blakeston had a very funny joke that he needs to shut the fuck up
Shut
about.
your mouth.
Yeah.
It was so funny until Steven dared bless us with his this bountiful harvest that he brought us. the pure precious metals that he bestowed upon us. Oh, it's life changing. It was literally life changing.
Yeah.
That's not it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie when I tell you guys. I didn't know how funny things could be. I literally had no clue that something could be that funny. I'm not exactly. We spend our lives laughing at each other.
Yeah.
I didn't know that existed to be that funny.
And on top
it was
of
a
all of
blessing
this,
from heaven above, the sweet nectar of the gods of comical juice in my ear.
oh my god,
Yeah.
this man is
I
on.
agree with
He's
everything he
saying a
just
lot
said.
of words. It really is true.
And just to top all of this off, Chase and Kyle already thought this was the funniest thing ever. What Steven had done, he had Steven and Kyle accidentally did this. There was another layer deep. I was laughing at the layer deep, which is weird for me to be the smart one in the group.
Yep.
And I was trying to tell Chase, I'm like, dog, that was so funny that this happened. And he's like, shut up. He's
laughing.
He's
There's
like,
two, all right, listen,
he thought I
there's
was
two levels.
Yep.
Me and Kyle are lost on level 1. And no hope of recovery. We were laughing so hard, and we were only halfway there.
And I'm trying to explain to Chase. He's like, "Shut up! You're saying stupid
You're
things."
dumb.
Finally, I get out what the second layer is, what the second level is, and Chase and Kyle look at each other and lost it tenfold. It was, Yeah.
That's it. What he said.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Steven-
It was already by far the
Dude.
funniest thing I'd ever heard in my life.
You guys missed a couple sub layers that has nothing to do with the inside of the truck, too.
It was thrown through a loop. I was.
Me and Kyle
my
were
brain
in a
did it.
vortex. Me and Kyle
Yeah,
were in
my
a vortex together.
Brain was
dude.
doing
we were,
flips trying to figure out what had just happened to me.
Kyle and I were literally, our souls were intertwined in a vortex together, lost in this universe in an empty abyss of nothingness and limbo and comical limbo.
Not only that, but they were this number. Laughing
We were
like that,
forehead
head to head.
And it was
Our
forceful.
eyes-
We were.
Our eyes were still open, aggressively pushing and frozen. And it's one of those that were dead silent. It's not like we were, haha. It was,
The laugh couldn't come out. It couldn't go. Oh.
it was, yeah. And we were stuck forehead to forehead. And I see Kyle's hat tumble off his head and roll down his back.
Yeah,
And you guys have no clue what we're talking about.
Yeah,
We
you
haven't
guys
even
have-
said the joke, and we're over here. I'm cried a couple times.
Yeah.
So anyway, the company went under whenever I left.
What a tangent that
So we were
was.
in Colorado. Next thing you know, the company's failing.
yeah, it's because of the joke.
Oh my god.
Good times, dude.
Steven, your jokes sent shockwaves through our business structure is
Yeah.
what happened.
Anyway, yeah, coming
Crumbled
back.
the foundations.
Coming back from that trip, I used so much of my natural serotonin on just that one joke. I've
Yeah.
never been the same.
We were
since.
neurochemically deprived after that.
I haven't
It
slept
was-
as well. I haven't laughed as
We're
hard.
joking about the when we were coming back. We're kind of joking about how like depressed we felt. It was. I'm
So
not
joke.
kidding. I genuinely didn't feel happy anymore.
Yeah.
I was
I
literally
used
mad.
up all of the happy for like months on that. I was like frustrated and I wanted to be away from them. I didn't. It was a weird feeling that I didn't like, but it was worth it.
I didn't know how bright colors could be.
And then,
And then how
shortly
more
thereafter,
words
Chase. More words.
more words. Keep going, wordsmith.
Imagine this. Imagine like legit. You wake up stress free and you smell fresh cut grass
Yep.
and there's a fucking fresh loaf of bread in the
Yeah.
oven all at once and you're just like, God damn, life is good,
Yeah.
dude. Colors were brighter.
Freshly
Music
washed
sounded
linen.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Music sounded
Oh,
better.
wow. It's true.
Oh
It's
my
like, have
God.
you ever like really fallen in love with someone? It's
It was
all of those
exactly
feelings,
like that,
but through
better.
laughter
Yeah.
and through Steven.
Yeah.
What goes up must come down.
And boy,
And then-
did we crash.
and then
From
the
our
crash
drug-
was-
our
Yeah.
fucking drug addicted overdose. We crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The way back was whenever you've fallen in love,
this
and then she fucking cheats on you
It
with
was
your
the heartbreak.
with your brother is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah,
hot.
it would, dude.
Yeah,
I remember I
I-
was sitting in
yeah.
the back and we stopped at McDonald's to go pee or something, and I just hopped up in the front seat to drive because I just wanted to just not interact with any. Just
Dude, I remember we went
Didn't
to
blink one
I
time.
remember we went to the customer's house that night and I literally felt like in a daze of
Yeah.
stupor and kind of irritated and it was a weird feeling. It was a weird feel. I was living in a dark cloud because I had used up any ounce
Yep.
of happiness and energy.
Was that when
well, and we
Danny
even
It got
back
sucked out
into
of
the
me.
warehouse?
yeah, Danny back to
Oh,
the warehouse
wow.
that same night.
What
and
a
the same,
bad time
there
for
is
him
a
to do that.
TikTok of us. It was the three of us in a
Oh,
bed.
when we were laying in bed and
And I
I
shit
Kyle
on his
shits on
face.
my nose. I had a little shit dot right here on my nose.
No, that's where that dot on your lip came from.
It's been there ever since. Kyle shit in my face. There was like a little TikTok of us. We were trying to recover that.
Go
night.
to bed.
Yeah.
It
we
was
tried
right
to
at.
sleep.
Yeah, have you seen that TikTok? It was
I
right
remember
after
it
the
was
joke.
miserable.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a
I
weird
was like,
feeling.
I was literally, please stop making me laugh. Stop
I
it.
had left you guys to go sleep with the dogs in the living room.
So
I
all,
really
all
did.
we're saying is we worked the movie company very hard because we were having good memories, not nearly equivalent to that. That was
Yeah.
the crowning jewel.
creme de la
But there
creme.
were a
That
lot of
crowned my
memories that
jewel.
were a taste of that. They were like
Yeah.
little sampler platters leading up to that. But that's why we were running the movie company because we got to hang out, we got to dick around, go on moves together, literally hours in a moving truck, in a 3-seat moving truck, messing around. And it was, 4 or 5 years of that. And we wanted to be able to do that more often and harder. So
Yeah, and we're doing it.
yeah, we're fucking doing
Yeah,
it right now.
So what's
Yeah, baby.
what's next for the boys?
What's
The
next
people-
for you,
I've been
Blakeston?
seeing lots of comments. They've been catching on to our little innuendos of our posts, and they've been commenting back and forth on different posts.
Talking
trying to
about
figure
they
it out.
need to start an OnlyFans.
Oh, but I've been done. Come on, now,
Yeah.
come on. You're late.
Where you been? What do you think?
Yeah.
We're talking about paying the bills.
Tune in
on.
Thursday.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Tune in Thursday.
So the moving company's going under. Anybody on TikTok knows this as a moving company. the moving company is going under. The moving company has been operating in a deficit for probably about a year and a half, and we're fucking sick and tired of it.
Yeah, calling it quits, shutting it down. Tired of investing our own money back into it for that money to just get sucked up in the empty void that is Let's Get Moving. And we're gonna take the money that we've been putting in there and put it towards new business ventures and take all the lessons that we've learned, which is a lot of lessons in running a business, and start something new and call it quits and take all the memories forward. And
it's definitely served its purpose. We served this purpose of, we know we're not going to be, at first it was going on moves. We know we're not going to be going on moves forever. So we went on moves until we didn't have to. Then we were running it, and we knew we're not going to be running in this moving company forever. And then that's where we're at now. We stopped running the moving company, and we're doing that next little chapter. So it definitely served its purpose of, letting us provide for ourselves, pay our bills, building something that we could be somewhat proud of, and help us get to the next level. And we've given a lot of people jobs and helped a lot of people, get their feet under themselves. And I feel pretty proud for what we've done with Let's Get Moving, to be honest with you. Yeah. And it's sad to see it close, but in a very real note, I am not very sentimental in general. So it's, to me, it's nothing but happy. It did its purpose, and now we're on to something else.
Yeah, and it's come full circle. We used to grind, work very hard to make a fraction of what we make now. We work 1/10 as hard now to make much, much more, and now we're going back to doing moves for free until we go out of business. So we're doing what we used to grind for free because we make money other ways. So that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, we're finishing up these moves for the rest of July. So if you're on the schedule for July, cool.
You
get
shouts
us.
To my sister. I'll see you in a few
I was
weeks.
telling Steven, so we're moving Chase's sister on the 29th.
I told her I'm not moving her. I will pay Let's Get Moving to I'll just pay for it. Just for the company.
Exactly what I was telling Steven. I said, I bet Chase said, I'm not moving you. I will pay for your moves. Just let the company do it.
Now
and then here we are. We're going to go do it.
Now we're fucking
and you're going to pay for it.
And he's going to pay me.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck yeah.
God, I hate it. Yep, that is what happened.
No regrets from you guys?
Definitely not regrets. I know for a fact, we always did the best we could, faced with every single circumstance, every single choice. We were putting our best foot forward. Of course, looking back, there's a million things we could have done better. We could have operated 4 or 5 crews a day, not tried to expand, had a warehouse, had everything. Yeah, there's a million things we could have done different. But yeah, definitely no regrets.
Yeah, I wouldn't say regrets. I think hindsight's 2020. We could fix.
Yours is.
Go back and.
Yeah, not mine.
Yours is what? 14? Or is that better or worse?
2010.
Lower's better.
Lower's better?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're like
2010 is better than
2010.
2020.
Okay, whatever.
10-20.
But yeah, so hindsight,
it
we
works.
could go back and fix a lot of things like you're saying, but regrets, no. I mean, worked 8 years with my best friends, having a lot of fun, making money, traveled a lot, not only for moving, but personally because we could just take time off when we wanted time off.
Yeah, dude, I think about specifically, we've been running this moving company for almost 8 years, or it was in business for 8 years. My daughter's 5. I have spent every day with her almost, unless I'm literally out of town for my own self. I spend almost every single day with my daughter, and I know a lot of dads, if they work a 9 to 5, are not able to do that. So I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Yeah.
I did just get hit with the memory when we were down in Dallas and Steven got off the phone with Alex and got into the truck and slammed the door and broke the truck and is literally flooring it over one of the bumpiest roads I've ever been on.
Killed the engine.
Killed the truck. We hit a bump so hard that it shut the truck off, which I've never experienced. That boy Kyle is in the middle. I'm on the passenger. He said he's literally watching this whole thing going down. He turns to me and goes, "What's she mad at?" And I was scared. I was like, oh
my God.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah,
he
I was
broke
there
the
for
truck,
that.
said, "What's she mad at?"
I was there for that
was
too.
fucking funny that we were 4 deep in the moving truck because Blakeston was there.
I was there too, please.
Oh, that's
you guys
funny.
get
My
it.
only regret is leaving. I've left the company too early, I feel like. But, I mean, if I didn't do that, we wouldn't necessarily be where we are now.
Exactly. So it's not a regret.
It's just more of
a
I hate the fact that it failed is the only issue.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we are on to bigger and better things. And
Well, when you're a failure like me, you just know that things fail. So you don't worry
just
about
okay
that.
with it.
Yep.
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
ask my whole family. Sorry,
the
go
only
ahead.
thing is, the only thing is we didn't need it to be as big as we were trying to have it be, and maybe left too early. If we had everything smaller and more solid, then stepped away, maybe. But I genuinely thought that that's what we had done. In looking back, I thought we have done that hard part. What I'm describing is I thought what we had done, and I didn't know that it wasn't good enough, and I wouldn't have known that it wasn't good enough until it eventually failed, which it did.
I had talked with Austin about was a big part of when we left was something that like you can't buy. It was our personalities. It was the energy that we brought, and not only for Austin and the guys that we had running it, but like new people on board. They see us there. They see the owners interacting with them, having a good time, like all this, like
the
it's
genuine care.
Gives them
faith.
faith.
It gives them faith, and it's a whole thing of like money can't buy it, and there just wasn't that anymore, and it just
even our old buddy Dakota, who was with us from Dakota was the first person that we hired that wasn't a close homie.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota was literally he was a real one for sure.
And was also a good worker.
Yeah, he was a good dude, and he didn't even like me that much, but he even said that me being there and talking to him the way he did is what even kept him there so long.
Mm-hmm.
So like he didn't even like me, and that wasn't even a personal thing, but us being there, keeping the guys motivated, keeping them focused on the vision and understanding the bigger picture. And once that was gone, it's literally just another job. And not only is it another job, it's worse than other jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
You're
shitty
moving
job,
furniture and it
and
fucking
the hot
sucks.
and
So
the
yeah.
heat and the dust and the gross and
And it's not that most people don't care. They're not going to put their heart and soul into it, but you can't build a business around that. It's the job fucking sucks. Yeah. Everything about it sucks. And people are going to give what they're going to give. And if you can't build a business around that understanding, then you're not going to have a successful business. So we're moving on to something that doesn't require counting on.
I think failures, defining it as a failure, I think that's not 100% accurate. I think it did exactly what we wanted it to do. Could we have done things a little bit differently and kept it smaller and stayed a little longer so it would continue making money and provide jobs for people? Maybe, yeah, sure. But
Could we have fired people that should have been fired? Yeah, sure.
Could we have not held on to friendships and fired people when they should have been fired? Yeah, but I mean, I think in the sense of where it's led us and what we're doing now, and the way you guys have been able to spend time with your kids, the way I've been able to spend time with Henley, and
I have a cat.
Your cats, like it's probably more successful. I think success can be determined in time, not money. And it gave us all of the time.
Yep.
Right.
I
like
agree.
I don't think I'll ever look back and regret spending time the way I want to spend my time. Yeah.
So you played like 1,000 games of Fortnite during it.
Fuck, I played so much Fortnite. So much Fortnite. Dude, I would come home from work. I would come home from moves. I literally wouldn't even shower. I would play Fortnite.
Oh my God.
Just for us to still be fucking awful at Fortnite.
God awful.
We are
I am
bad.
so bad at video games. It's not fun. It makes it not fun.
I've been trying to get Chase to play Call of Duty with me, but he doesn't really like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I remember you guys playing those games, and I was over here grinding on social media.
This was before social
This
media
is
too,
years
though.
ago. This is 4 or 5 years ago.
Before, you talking about whenever we left Let's Get Moving?
No, I'm talking about when we
way
were
back.
still back in Chase's house.
Oh.
Specifically what I'm talking, when we were in his basement.
When I was there too.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boy, Steven been putting in the years we didn't even know about. Good on him.
The TikTok before TikTok.
That's incredible. He was making music
Actually, yeah, I was on Instagram. I was out here.
He was on
right.
Musically.
He's doing.
So I know you guys saw him there.
I was on Robot Unicorn playing video games.
I remember
Shut up, Diego, in the background.
I remember your daily Instagram post of the
gym
gyms,
content.
Gym
Yep.
content.
You were grinding on that.
That was the real Steven.
Now
he's fake. He won't even follow T back.
Roasted.
That's a rugby player. That's an insider.
Yep.
And I followed him.
Now Steven is, I don't know if you guys have noticed, the plaque sitting by his right leg.
Oh, Steven, tell us.
Yeah, tell the people.
You've been grinding on social media?
I didn't even know you were on socials. I'll have
Proof
to.
is in the pudding.
You're
For passing 100,000 subscribers.
You're a gangster.
At this day and time, I'm at almost 300K.
You're an absolute gangster, my friend.
Here's to getting the gold plaque in hopefully soon. And
What is
thanks,
that,
Chase.
500K?
Is that a milli?
A milli? Is it
Let me know
gold?
when you
And
get
then
there.
a diamond is at either
10?
2 or 5.
Oh, 2 or 5.
When you
Maybe
get to
10.
1 million, I'll follow you. So let me know. I have to unblock you first, but
Thank
I'll
you.
do it. I got you. I'm a good friend.
There's been a lot of speculation in the comments and questions. Is this scumbag Blakeston back? What is he doing? I'm confused about the Blakeston story.
It's true. I'm a
What's
scumbag.
going on with you? Are you back? Are you an LGMer?
Yeah.
Tell us that story.
It's me. Hello.
That joke would hit perfectly. Wait till he's done. You say, yeah, it's true. I'm a scumbag. but then I got interrupted.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. I don't know what you.
We're back.
I waited for you guys to stop there. I don't know when to stop or start. It's true. I'm a scumbag. We can edit that. We can edit that. I nailed it. All right. Yeah, I'm back. Back and better than ever.
Well, what happened? Why are the people over here talking about? Why are they confused in the first place that you're gone?
So I quit LGM, the moving company, like a year ago. I can't remember exactly when, and we did a whole play on what was going on because I was doing social media with these guys, and shortly thereafter I quit doing that, and that was, I think I was just kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I think a lot of it was me not really knowing what I wanted out of life, what I wanted to be doing professionally.
What caused that though? Let's get to the nitty gritty here. Why would you have those feelings if you're out here hanging out with your boys, making content, having fun?
I don't know. I can't really pinpoint something. I was just having feelings of not feeling fulfilled and not knowing what I wanted to be doing with my life.
I wonder if they can hear that piss. Probably not, but
I
Kyle's
doubt it.
peeing right now very loud.
Kyle's
While
got a
he's
heavy
doing that,
stream.
I want you to ask again and say again, and we might as well wait till Kyle sits down.
Hello, intermission.
Ask again and say again.
He wants the whole thing, but
We're
with
gonna
Kyle.
restart?
I think so.
Well, Kyle was
Hey,
here
so
for
this is the
start.
LGM Boys, and this is our podcast. Let's start.
Oh.
We're gonna restart. Don't worry.
Hello, this is LGM Boys podcast.
Oops.
He stole my joke, and my joke is stealing jokes. He double stole my joke.
And we're back.
All right.
What gave you those feelings of not being fulfilled whenever you're with your friends? You know, we're laughing, having a good time, making content,
Yeah.
doing the social media dream
Some people
that
will call
everybody
that
wants-
the dream.
that everybody wants to do, or a lot of people want to do. I want to hear like the nitty gritty, the feelings, like what exactly was going on. I want it to be
don't
as
start
real
lying.
as possible.
That's what I'm trying to give you. I think you're kind. I don't know. I don't know how else to word it other than I was feeling unfulfilled professionally and didn't know what to do to fill that void.
Because you weren't making money, or you weren't. Is there anything else, or what? Or you wasn't making enough money? What is it?
No, it had
Just
nothing.
something in the heart.
It had nothing to do with money. I felt unfulfilled professionally because because maybe it felt too good to be true, or I don't know how to word it. I don't know if I'm going to give you an answer that suffices exactly what you want. It is that though. I just didn't feel happy every day because I'm used to working with my hands. I'm used to doing manual labor. I'm used to, you see something, you do that thing and you have a finished product. Whereas doing these kind of things, it is what you make it, which is an unusual feeling for me. And I think that might be part of it. I think I was not really knowing what the end goal was, or not really knowing, I don't know, I don't know how else to put it or word it. But I just wasn't feeling very fulfilled.
Was it like a fear of the unknown type thing? Or?
Probably that. I think some of it is probably LGM is your guys's, LGM Boys.
That's you too.
I know. I know that now. I'm back then a lot of it is like, even with LGM, it is what you make it, but at the end of the day, it was your guys' thing. It wasn't anything that I created. So I might have been
Was you like feeling expendable, or because I honestly don't fully understand, but so I'll chime in and interrupt every once in a while. Did you feel
fine.
expendable, or
not really? I just didn't feel like I was. I just didn't feel fulfilled. There's no more like, it's not really like a deeper meaning. I just didn't feel like each day. I didn't feel like I was.
What are you doing
producing or
now to
getting
find
things done.
fulfillment in life?
I think I had a realization that this is a fulfilling thing, that being with my friends and having fun and laughing every day is not something that people get to do. People go to work, and most people joke about how much they dislike their job, how much they hate their boss, how much all these different variables, how much they got to ask for time off, all these things, where I don't have a boss. I have my best friends that I get to hang out with. We try to hold each other accountable. We get to do literally whatever we want. We work out together. I live with Chase. Like, this is a dream that people, pretty much no one gets to do.
On a bigger picture note, this is completely confirms one of the most one of the biggest lessons I learned at Let's Get Moving, and that is, this has affected a lot of my personal relationships too, is that people do shit that doesn't make sense, and that we are pretty much operate exclusively from an emotional space. And I've learned this. Like, we told Blakeston, we're doing it, dog. This is it. Like, and he didn't feel it and he didn't see it, so he didn't believe it. And he didn't learn anything new. Your feelings changed. You didn't learn anything new because you knew that because we told him before he left. But we pretty much, all of us, no one that I've ever met is an exception, unless you have like your what's it called? Neuroatypical. What's it called? If you operate where you just see things differently and you don't really, from what I've noticed, 99% of people operate from an emotional place. If you don't feel something, you're not going to change your behavior, even if you know it, can recite it, and you've learned it. If you don't feel it or believe in it, you're not going to change the way you do things. So I think that it makes perfect sense, Blake, and you didn't believe in it or feel it, so you weren't going to waste your time doing it. And I don't, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, but, having that realization and just understanding that I just put in the effort and we get to hang out with you guys and enjoy each day, you know.
What did you?
Worst comes to worst, if we make videos and get stuff done, great. If not, we probably had still laughed and hung out and did shit.
Yep.
Just can't complain about that.
Yeah, not the worst
Can't
thing.
complain about hanging out with your best friends.
What
I mean, I do
exactly?
sometimes.
What exactly happened during that little interim period? I know you started like a little.
That's a
clothing
good question.
thing and
Yeah, I was a couple things. I was starting trying to do some online training, trying to start a clothing brand, which
Just ask again. Just start from the beginning.
which question?
what
During that time when
What
you
did I
left the LGM Boys making content, what was your direction? When you left, did you have a plan in mind, and what did you start doing?
Yeah, so mainly just learning, just spending each day learning about things, learning about how to start a clothing brand, which is something that I am still kind of in the mix of starting with my cousin, and then doing some online training and
Training
just-
people online?
Yeah.
Training them at what?
fitness,
Okay.
online personal training,
Fit in what?
fitness stick.
Oh, yep. We're good.
Fitness stick where?
And right inside of your mouth.
A stick?
Jesus Christ. That felt aggressive to me.
Yeah.
And I laughed out of uncomfortable.
So anyway, and I guess the turning point for me, or what kind of, I don't know. So I'd been, I guess one of the ways I can answer your like wanting to dig deeper into it is I would talk to my cousin, who is a very, very successful individual, and he was telling me how one of the ways he found success was branching off from what was his like childhood friend group and going off and doing his own thing. And
Successful in what way?
Professionally, incredibly successful professionally. And
Money.
So it's not that I heard that and just was like, oh yeah, fuck that. Like, but that was part of it, and there's obviously other variables. But then I remember kind of thinking about that recently.
Do you mind if I go a little deeper into that?
Yeah.
Was his friends scumbags, or were they
No.
druggy? What brought about the leaving his group?
They were doing their own things, and he, instead of he moved away and pursued careers in which he just had to be in different areas and do other things. They were good people.
Stephen and Kyle, just to exclaim my loyalty to the group, I will never leave you guys.
I'm pissed. I'm never gonna leave either.
All right.
I'm stuck.
I won't do it either.
So
Fine.
The Takis are getting to them. Are they that spicy, Kyle?
Wow, Kyle, I never knew you to be a softie.
No, I just need some water. I have a chunk stuck in
You're
my
burning.
throat.
Oh, his
The
mouth
chunk
is
stuck
burning.
in the throat, I sympathize with.
And water boy, come on, water
I
boy.
realized it was a.
It's not-
Fuck yeah.
It's not spicy. It's just
Diego, give him the water.
no, pour it.
Stop pouring and give him the water.
That's right. I'll have it. Yeah,
Unfortunately, there's only 4 seats, so that's why Diego's not in it. We will figure it out one day. He said he was going to sit on the monkey, but it was too small.
Diego's
You guys
behind the
didn't catch that.
scenes.
Nice, not much better.
Good joke, Diego. And he's crying. Where were we?
I can't remember.
Friends, left friends. Oh, we're never
So-
leaving each other.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that recently, and because he is someone that I look to when it comes to just because he's very successful. So in the past, I've looked up to him a lot and heeded his advice in certain areas. And I was thinking about it, and he, other than the fact that he has a lot of money, doesn't live his life anyway in a way that I want to live mine. And I
Boom, roasted.
and
Got
I
you.
was kind of realizing that literally all you're going to have when you're on your deathbed is your memories. It doesn't matter, all the whatever the things you do in life, it is just who you spend your time with and what you're doing. And I've been on, for example, I've been on vacations where I'm at a very cool place, but not really with people that I really want to be around, and it doesn't mean anything. And I've been to shitholes with my best friends where I've had the most fun in my entire life.
On
So-
moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Well, that's
It's not the.
we've been on moves in a fucking trap houses and terrible situations, and we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's not we're hanging out,
yeah.
and we're working and sweating, and it's damn midnight, and we don't want to be there.
A
And
house where someone was murdered and there's blood on the wall and stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
scared of what you're describing.
No,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
but
That
yeah,
was-
I think back to those memories, and those are good memories compared to 100%.
Yeah. So, just having that realization, and fortunately, these guys don't hate me too much to where they let me join back.
I was just waiting for him too. I knew he would figure it out.
We all knew from the beginning.
Right.
I was
With
Yeah,
your
we're glad-
wishy-washy ass.
We're glad you're here, Blakeston. Cold feet have an ass.
And all it takes
back
is
and forth, snip,
all it-
snap, snip, snap, have an ass.
all it takes is one more joke, and I'm out.
One
One more joke.
We'll
and
lose
I
him
swear to
again.
God, I'm out.
It did make me laugh when we rolled up to work this morning. My 5.5-year-old daughter saw Blakeston's motorcycle. She said, "Dad, what's Blakeston's motorcycle doing here? I thought he didn't work with you guys." I said, "I'm as confused as you are." So she gets it. She's she's in tune with the current
Oh,
situation.
if you didn't know, Blakeson bought another motorcycle.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, you
Roast
just
'em.
totaled your motorcycle. Like, don't get another one." So I got one in 3 weeks. 3 weeks
Even
after
bigger
I told
and better and faster.
Bigger,
than
better,
The
the
only
last
reason
one.
it took
And
that
cooler.
the only reason it took that long is because we went on a cruise.
Yeah, the only
it was
injuries.
healing.
I was fake injuries.
Let's wrap this up, boys.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's what's going on with the moving company. With us, we're gonna go full blown, rock hard forward with the content, and trying to figure out a more solidified schedule. We've been spending the past week or so divvying up roles and responsibilities so we can make sure things get done. It can be pumping out some good content.
And we're up to something that we're not going to say out loud, but we're fucking up to something that we're going to be working on as well over the next year. So,
Yeah. So in the comments, if you see little snippets and think you might know, leave a comment and see. We won't tell you until we're ready, but just try and figure it out.
to clarify,
Or I'll tell you right now.
There you go.
Is what I would say
if
if
you
I was going
follow
to.
anything on TikTok, there was a considerable amount of confusion with Blakeston. He left the moving company and started working with us as content creators. That was him quitting and starting the new job.
Mhm.
Then, and we were not. It was not fake. Like, you guys are just doing this for views. Which one? Yes, everything we post is for views. We hope everything we post gets a lot of views.
Seriously, send this to your friends and watch.
Seriously,
these
like and
videos.
subscribe and hit the bell.
Thanks.
So it's what it's for. And then he came to work with us as content creators, but then he actually left for real.
Mm-hmm.
But then he came back again. You can see I'm even confused, and I'm here. So
Yeah,
if you can't keep up
it's
with that,
not even a confusing thing. He just worded it perfectly. That's what happened.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're here. We're back. We're better than ever. If you want to support us, you can just definitely like and share this video, leave a comment, subscribe.
Might as well.
stay up to date with our
Shenanigans.
shenanigans and upcoming big projects.
Yeah, we got some big stuff in the works, and we will be posting more, especially on Patreon. If you want to see some behind the scenes, maybe a little bit more snippets of trying to figure out what's actually going on, check us out
A
there.
little bit more spice, if I remember correctly.
just things,
Just a little bit.
just things we
Chill.
can't post
Yeah,
on
relax.
TikTok and Instagram and stuff. Nothing too crazy, but could feed your fantasies a little bit more. Anyways, this has been LGM Boys podcast episode.
Don't even ask.
2 or 3 or 4.
1, 2, 3.
4 or 5.
I don't know. We filmed a lot that haven't got posted, so I don't know where we're at. But this has been a podcast.
This is somewhere between 2 and 10.
Great podcast.
Good job, dude, guys. Us.
I love you. Bye.
Bye bye.
See.